alaikum. I hope that you're having a blessed Ramadan so far. We have had a wonderful number of days that have passed, and I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that you're enjoying this month and that Allah accepts your acts of worship and devotion and your prayers and your supplication and your recitation of the Quran. Inshallah, today, as I promised you, we will address a couple of topics. Inshallah, we will keep it short and brief. We will address the concept of witnessing. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told us in the month of Ramadan, as you see on the screen, we've talked about this before. شهر رمضان الذي أنزل فيه القرآن. This is from verse 185 of Surah Al-Baqarah. 185. We've talked about it in earlier segments, but today we will focus only on one sentence. فمن شهد منكم الشهر فليصم. Whoever lives to witness this month must fast during it. Now, this is the traditional interpretation, and we've talked about this before. But the word shahr also means exposition, or to expose something. Shahara, to broadcast, to announce, to make it known to others. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying this month is the month where the Quran became exposed to you, meaning was revealed to you, was made accessible to you. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is encouraging us and inviting us during this month that if you are willing to be witnesses to this month or to the event that caused this month to be significant, then you should fast. And this brings me to draw your attention to something extremely important, which is fasting is prescribed upon those who can witness. And therefore, we have to think, witness to what? Witness to what aspects? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling us right here in the same verse, شهر رمضان الذي, I'm moving it this way a little bit so you can see it, make it larger. شهر رمضان الذي أنزل فيه القرآن. This is the month during which the Quran was made accessible, and hudan linnas, guidance to mankind, an instrument of guidance to mankind. And therefore, the first question is, if you're going to be a witness, can you witness to this fact? Can you witness? Can you provide witness? Can you testify with certainty, with confidence, with extreme comfort that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has revealed this Quran as guidance to mankind? And this is an invitation for you to reflect. So when we engage the Quran, when we recite the Quran, and more importantly, when we read and engage the Quran, as the Quran calls it, tadabbur. Tadabbur means to reflect, to take a verse or to take a sentence and think about it. Just like we're doing right now for one sentence. Whosoever lives to witness this month or this declaration or this exposition must fast. Fast why? Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is inviting us to be grateful for it. So therefore we have to reflect on the word witness. Witness to what? Witness to the Quran. And I'm asking you a kind of a challenging question, but also an invitation for you to take it seriously. Can you witness with certainty that this Quran contains guidance to all mankind? Can you witness that this Quran is from Allah? Can you witness that the one who brought us this Quran, or through whom the Quran was brought to us, this person, of course, is Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessing be upon him. Can you witness that this man really is worthy of carrying such a message? Can you witness that this message was delivered to you intact? Do you have answers to all of these questions? The challenge that we as Muslims are struggling with throughout the whole community of Muslims across the world is that most of us engage the Quran at a surface level, at the tip of our tongue. We read it, we recite it. Most of the time, we really don't comprehend what's going on inside these words. And the month of Ramadan is an invitation not just to recite, but to be witness to all of these things that I talked about. I want to also present you a couple of other concepts about witnessing. if you really reflect about fasting, fasting is an abstinence, is to, prevent yourself from doing something. So you prevent yourself from eating food, from tasting. You prevent yourself from satisfying your urge to drink. You prevent yourself from succumbing to thirst. You prevent yourself from succumbing to the desire to engage with your wife or your husband during the day, and so on. So it's all abstinence, right? Fasting is abstinence. But witnessing is actually proactive. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is depriving your senses, all of your senses, from anything that distracts during Ramadan, so that you can draw your attention and move your focus onto witnessing, onto learning to become credible witnesses for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu kunu qawwamina lillah shuhada'a bil qist. In another ayah, in another verse, kunu shuhada'a lillah, be witnesses for Allah, witnesses on the side of Allah. So witnessing is a very significant concept and part of our fasting. As a matter of fact, it is a prerequisite of fasting. Unfortunately, the vast majority of Muslims have taken Ramadan in general, I'm not generalizing, but in general, Muslims take Ramadan as, abstinence, and they see the abstinence part and they fulfill it, but they don't take part in the proactive witnessing part. This is an invitation, inshallah, that we redirect the rest of this month, the rest of this blessed month, the beautiful days that are left in this month, that we point our attention and our focus toward witnessing, learning, engaging, tadabbur, reflecting, and really understanding and getting ourselves ready to stand as witnesses, credible witnesses, for the sake of Allah. So as an example, just to kind of quickly put it in perspective, when you are called upon as a witness in court, the first question that they will ask you is, what makes you credible? So if you're witnessing as a medical expert, then you have to have credible certificates or knowledge or intimacy with the case or with the technical details. You are able to answer critical questions that nobody else can answer, and therefore you become a credible witness. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is inviting us during this month to be credible witnesses, and I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to guide us all to learn to become credible witnesses for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So again, it's not just the abstinence that is required of us. The prerequisite of this abstinence is that we learn to become witnesses, and that we focus our intention on learning to become witnesses of what this great month has brought to us, which is the Quran. The Quran is the reason why this month is so blessed and so important for us. So we need to seek what guidance are in the Quran, what evidences, as is right here in the same verse, what signs of divine guidance, and what are the differentiations that are included in the Quran for us to learn from. I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to give me and to give you all the patience and the wisdom and the knowledge and the sincerity to become witnesses during this great month. I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make this great month blessed and to repeat it for all of us, so that we can benefit and exit the end of this month having learned from this month and having engaged this month in a way that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala requires of us. I thank you for paying attention, and assalamu alaikum.